Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, gasping for air, and told yourself it was just the cold room? Or simply your age catching up with you? A patient once shared a story that stayed with me. She believed her nighttime coughing and the tightness in her chest were just part of getting older. For years, she brushed them aside until one night the discomfort grew into a frightening asthma flare that forced her to face a truth she had ignored for far too long. I want you to imagine this for a moment. You are lying in bed, the lights are off, and the world around you is quiet. Yet your breathing feels shallow, your chest grows heavy. Something doesn't feel right, but you cannot quite name it. These moments can be unsettling, especially when they happen again and again without explanation. What many seniors do not realize is that asthma attacks often become more dangerous after dark. When the body relaxes during sleep, the airways naturally tighten. Inflammation that has been building throughout the day becomes more noticeable. Oxygen levels dip. For older adults whose lung elasticity has already changed with age, these nighttime shifts make breathing more challenging than it has to be. Hidden triggers like cool bedroom air, dust, or reflux can quietly inflame the airways without warning. From my years of experience, I have seen how easily nighttime symptoms are mistaken for aging. Science tells us that cortisol levels drop at night, airway muscles contract, and breathing patterns shift in ways that increase asthma risk. Yet so many seniors blame these signs on fatigue, sleep quality, or simply getting older. Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share Senior Health Daily. Your support helps us keep bringing life-changing guidance to older adults everywhere. Stay with me, because understanding what truly happens in your body after dark can protect you or someone you love in powerful, practical ways. In the next part, we will explore why nighttime asthma is so often overlooked and what seniors can do to stay safe. Why nighttime asthma becomes more dangerous for seniors. As evening settles and the world grows quieter, your body begins to shift into a slower rhythm. Breathing becomes softer, your muscles relax, and the systems that work hard all day finally take a moment to rest. Most people never think twice about these nighttime changes. But for seniors living with undiagnosed or poorly controlled asthma, these natural shifts can turn into moments of danger. When you sleep, your breathing becomes naturally slower and shallower. This is normal, but for someone whose airways are already slightly inflamed, the reduced airflow can make symptoms more noticeable. Many seniors tell me they feel perfectly fine during the day, only to struggle with coughing or tightness after they fall asleep. This change is not imaginary. Science shows that nighttime is when inflammation inside the airways tends to peak. As the body's cortisol levels drop, the muscles surrounding the airways lose some of their natural relaxation. What was a mild irritation at noon becomes a narrowed, sensitive passageway at midnight. Older adults face unique challenges. Lung elasticity declines with age, meaning the lungs no longer expand and contract as easily as they once did. The respiratory muscles weaken, making it harder to take a full breath or clear mucus. Even if a senior never had asthma earlier in life, these age-related changes can allow inflammation to build silently until nighttime reveals it. Hidden triggers play a major role. Bedding that has not been washed frequently can harbor dust mites that irritate sensitive lungs. Air conditioners that circulate air too forcefully can spread mold spores or stir up dust. A cool bedroom that feels refreshing may tighten the airways of a sensitive senior. Acid reflux during sleep, something extremely common in older adults, can also worsen nighttime breathing without any chest burning to warn them. What complicates things even further is that many seniors assume these symptoms are simply signs of aging. They believe nighttime coughing, breathlessness, or heaviness in the chest is just part of getting older. They do not see these symptoms as red flags. They see them as inconveniences. This mindset delays diagnosis and allows inflammation to grow stronger. Understanding this connection between nighttime physiology and aging lungs is often the turning point for many people. Once seniors realize that what they feel at night is not a weakness, but a message, they begin taking the steps needed to protect their breathing. The most common nighttime asthma signs of seniors: Ignore one of the first signs that often goes unnoticed is persistent night coughing. Many older adults wake up coughing once or twice a night without thinking much of it. They attribute it to dryness, allergies, or simply clearing the throat. But when coughing becomes a pattern, especially if it wakes you from sleep, it is often the body's way of trying to reopen irritated airways. Another sign is shortness of breath after lying down. Seniors may find that they breathe better propped up on pillows. They think they are doing this for comfort, but the real reason is that lying flat allows mucus to shift and airway muscles to tighten, making it harder to breathe. Seniors with nighttime asthma often keep adding pillows without understanding why. Chest tightness during the night is another important clue. This sensation may feel like someone is gently pressing against the chest. It may not be painful, so seniors often ignore it. They may think it is a sign of stress, indigestion, or a bad sleeping position. But chest tightness is one of the hallmark sensations of asthma swelling inside the airways. Wheezing is a clue, but it is not always obvious. Some seniors hear it only when breathing out. Others may not hear it at all, but feel a subtle vibration inside the chest. The early morning hours, around 3 to 5 o'clock, are the most common time for wheezing to appear, because airway muscles are at their tightest then. Many seniors also describe waking up feeling panicked or restless, with no clear reason. They believe it is anxiety or a nightmare. In reality, the brain wakes them when oxygen dips just enough to trigger a survival response. Even mild nighttime asthma can cause this sudden sense of alertness. All of these symptoms overlap with issues that are extremely common in older adults, such as poor sleep, heart conditions, anxiety, or reflux. That overlap leads many to underestimate the seriousness of their breathing issues. Science shows that airway muscles stiffen during sleep, which increases the amount of obstruction someone with asthma may experience. For seniors, the stiffness is even more pronounced. Recognizing these nighttime signs is one of the most empowering steps an older adult can take. What feels like a small inconvenience could be the clue that protects your lungs from long-term damage. Stories of seniors who misread the warning signs. Real stories often help people recognize their own experiences more clearly. I once cared for a man in his late 60s who slept with a fan blowing directly toward him. He believed the cool air helped him sleep better. But the fan stirred up dust from the room and pushed it toward his airways, worsening his nighttime asthma. For years, he believed his breathlessness was due to poor sleep or lack of exercise. Only after a serious overnight attack did he begin to see the connection. Another patient, a 74-year-old woman, thought her nighttime breathlessness was nothing more than heartburn. She would wake up coughing and assume her dinner hadn't settled. Sometimes she would sip water, adjust her pillows, or sit up for a while before trying to sleep again. But one winter night, her symptoms escalated into a full asthma attack. She struggled for air and ended up in the emergency room. When we later reviewed her symptoms, it became clear that she had been experiencing warning signs for years. I will never forget a widower in his early 70s who believed he snored because he was overweight. His daughter encouraged him to get a sleep evaluation. That evaluation revealed nighttime asthma episodes that interrupted his breathing repeatedly throughout the night. He had never considered asthma because he never wheezed loudly. When he began consistent treatment, not only did his breathing improve, but he also regained energy he had not felt in years. These stories highlight something important. Seniors are incredibly strong and resilient, but they often downplay their symptoms to avoid worrying others or disrupting their routines. Yet ignoring nighttime breathing problems can lead to dangerous escalations. Recognizing these patterns can be life-changing. Simple science behind why asthma attacks. Peak at night, understanding the basic science behind nighttime asthma helps many seniors feel less frightened and more in control. During sleep, hormone levels shift, which affects how the lungs behave. Cortisol, a hormone that reduces inflammation, reaches its lowest level at night. With less cortisol circulating, airway inflammation becomes more noticeable. Sinus drainage increases when lying down, especially for those with allergies or chronic sinus issues. This excess drainage can irritate the throat and lower airways, triggering coughing or wheezing. Even people who do not notice sinus symptoms during the day may feel their effects at night. Cold air inside bedrooms often plays a major role. If the temperature drops too low, it can constrict the airways, especially in those with sensitive lungs. Wintertime tends to worsen this effect, as dry, cold air creates the perfect environment for airway tightening. Heart rate slows during sleep, and oxygen saturation naturally dips slightly. For someone with asthma, these small changes can cause noticeable breathing discomfort. Seniors, whose lungs are less elastic and whose immune responses are slower, feel these nighttime changes more intensely. Combining these factors, the nighttime environment becomes the ideal setting for asthma symptoms to peak. Once seniors understand this process, they feel more prepared to manage these hidden triggers. In senior bedrooms, the bedrooms often contain the very triggers that make asthma attacks more dangerous after dark. Dust mites live inside mattresses, pillows, and blankets, feeding on tiny skin particles and thriving in warm, humid environments. For someone with sensitive airways, breathing in these microscopic particles can trigger nighttime wheezing or coughing. Air conditioning units and heaters can spread dust or mold spores if they have not been cleaned regularly. Even a small buildup inside vents can irritate the airways repeatedly night after night. Seniors who believe they are reacting to the weather may actually be reacting to the airflow inside their bedroom. Scented candles, air fresheners, and perfumes may create a pleasant atmosphere, but they release chemicals that irritate inflamed airways. Even natural scents can trigger asthma in some individuals. Cold drafts from windows or doors can tighten the airways suddenly. Pets sleeping in the bed or bedroom may shed dander that floats into the air throughout the night. Dry winter heat strips moisture from the air, leaving the airways irritated and vulnerable. Adding a humidifier can help, but using it incorrectly can create mold, so balance is essential. Acid reflux, one of the most overlooked contributors to nighttime asthma, often worsens when lying flat. Stomach acid irritates the throat and can reach the lower airways, triggering inflammation without causing heartburn. Identifying these triggers gives seniors the power to transform their nighttime breathing environment into a safe and supportive space. What seniors can do before bed to reduce risk. Many seniors are surprised to learn how much control they have over nighttime asthma. Simple changes before bed can greatly reduce symptoms. Keeping the bedroom temperature stable prevents sudden airway constriction. Washing bedding weekly helps remove dust mites. Using a HEPA air purifier improves air quality and reduces allergens. Elevating the head of the bed by a few inches can reduce reflux, which in turn lowers airway irritation. Practicing slow breathing exercises before sleep calms the respiratory system and prepares the lungs for deeper rest. Avoiding heavy meals, alcohol, or dairy several hours before bedtime prevents digestive irritation that can worsen breathing at night. Scented products should be limited, especially those with strong fragrances. Consistent use of prescribed inhalers is crucial. Many seniors skip their inhaler if they feel fine during the day, but nighttime symptoms often stem from inflammation building quietly. Regular treatment keeps that inflammation under control. Before we continue, if this video is helping you understand your health, please subscribe, like, and share Senior Health Daily. It gives us the motivation to create more life-saving content for you. With even small adjustments, seniors often experience noticeable improvements in their nighttime breathing. How doctors diagnose nighttime asthma. In older adults, diagnosing nighttime asthma involves understanding how your breathing changes during sleep. Spirometry is often used to measure airflow and detect obstruction. It provides valuable information about lung capacity and function. Overnight pulse oximetry monitors oxygen levels during sleep. A drop in oxygen at certain hours may indicate asthma-related airway narrowing. This test is simple and can often be done at home. Allergy testing helps identify triggers that may worsen nighttime breathing. Evaluating the home environment can reveal mold, dust, or other irritants contributing to symptoms. Because acid reflux plays a significant role in nighttime asthma, doctors often evaluate digestive health as part of the diagnosis. The goal is to view the body holistically instead of focusing only on the lungs. One of the biggest challenges in diagnosing asthma in seniors is distinguishing it from COPD, heart failure, or sleep apnea. Many older adults live with more than one condition, making diagnosis complex. Clear communication with a healthcare professional ensures that the right treatment is given. Effective treatments and realistic management for seniors. There are many tools available to help seniors manage nighttime asthma safely. Long-term control medications reduce inflammation over time and prevent nighttime flare-ups. Rescue inhalers offer quick relief during unexpected symptoms, but must be used correctly to be effective. Nebulizer therapy is especially helpful for seniors who struggle to inhale deeply from an inhaler. It delivers medication gently and evenly, making it easier for older lungs to absorb. Lifestyle adjustments also play a significant role. Improving sleep habits, managing reflux, reducing triggers, and maintaining consistent medical care all work together to strengthen the lungs. This holistic approach gives seniors the best chance at steady, long-term improvement. Seniors must avoid stopping their maintenance inhalers just because they feel better. Asthma is a condition that improves with consistency. Skipping medication allows inflammation to return quietly. With the right combination of treatments, many older adults regain the confidence to sleep with peace of mind. How soon improvements can be felt. Many seniors notice improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of addressing their nighttime asthma. They often describe the first change as sleeping through the night without waking up. Over time, coughing becomes less frequent, and chest tightness begins to fade. Mornings feel easier. There is less breathlessness upon waking, and activities like climbing out of bed or walking to the kitchen become smoother. These changes build gradually, but they bring a strong sense of relief and renewed confidence. Better sleep leads to improved energy levels, clearer thinking, and a greater sense of well-being during the day. As asthma episodes become less frequent, seniors begin to trust their breathing again. When nighttime symptoms become a medical emergency. Some symptoms indicate the need for immediate medical attention. Severe breathlessness, rapid breathing, or difficulty speaking clearly are strong warnings that the airways are dangerously narrowed. Blue lips or fingertips signal low oxygen and require urgent care. If symptoms do not improve after using a rescue inhaler or return within a few hours, emergency treatment may be necessary. These situations can escalate quickly, so recognizing the signs is essential for safety. Seeking help early prevents long-term lung damage and reduces the risk of future emergencies. It is not overreacting. It is protecting your health and your independence. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to return to something that often gets overlooked. Many nighttime symptoms that seniors dismiss as simple aging can actually be quiet but powerful warnings from the body. A cough that wakes you from sleep, a heaviness that settles across your chest in the dark, a breath that feels too shallow to carry you through the night. These moments are not inconveniences, they are signals. They are reminders that your lungs still have a voice and that your body is asking for your attention, not your dismissal. I want you to know that trusting these signals is not a sign of fear. It is a sign of wisdom. It is a sign of honoring the remarkable body that has carried you through every season of life. Healing is not reserved for the young. Improvement is not limited by age. I have seen seniors in their 70s and 80s reclaim their breath, regain their confidence, and rediscover the joy of waking up feeling steady and safe. Awareness can transform the way you breathe and the way you live. Thank you for spending this time with me, for allowing me into your home and your routine, and for trusting Senior Health Daily as a companion on your wellness journey. Your courage to learn and your willingness to care for yourself inspire me every day. If this video brought you clarity and comfort, I invite you to subscribe to Senior Health Daily so we can continue walking this wellness journey together.